just about right.
You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old
pulling that girl down,
going on 60, and finally a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Yes, we are the champions, and we are back. Actually, we are here with Mr. Sam Nalvin, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, hey, everyone.
How you doing?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling great. I'm just ready to make a drifting podcast.
Perfect.
And to tell the world about what we know about drifting.
Which is pretty much nothing, but...
What are you talking about? I got all the knowledge. I've got the passion. I got the heart. Got the
body.
Brains. I got the body.
You got
Speaking
the hair.
Of the body, Corey's not with us this week because allegedly he is finishing a drift car.
You
know about this?
Yeah, we were working on it until midnight last night. And
you worked on Corey's car?
Yeah, I mean, I'm helping. I'm not. I can take credit for it, but I can say that I bolt a couple things on the car.
You did some bolt-ons like a cat back.
Yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm. Intake on that thing.
Put a turbinator for sure.
What's your prediction for Corey's FD Seattle run? How's he gonna do?
I think he's going to do fries instead of what he should have done, pizza.
Yeah, I think that he's gonna forget to turn right when he initiates, and he's just gonna go straight directly into the wall without ever turning. The end.
The end. Scene.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which.
Oh, Jesus. All right, you get people who's listening to this. Sam is pouring champagne on a carbon fiber trophy.
This is Ryan Turk's Long Beach trophy.
Well, cheers, mate.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna join you with some beer from a spaghetti mug with a can on it.
Yeah, can we do a quick shout out to who is the beautiful soul that did a slow-mo video of SpaghettiOs?
Dude. Okay, so yeah, Aaron Usebi.
Yeah, quick shout out to you. So he was using one of our Patreon.
We can show such video real quick if you don't mind. Want to do that?
Before we get on to the show.
Before we go into the show, we have to do something real quick.
And housekeeping means to show off a video of SpaghettiOs being poured into a coffee cup in slow motion, and then the hot dog at the end really is just the icing on the cake. Or, as the old saying goes, it really is the hot dog and the spaghetti.
Okay, let me cue it real quick because I have to open it from the webs, and it is okay. I have to maximize this thing.
Maximize the Driftcast.
Okay, wait up. Okay, let's check this out real quick, you guys. If you're not listening, if you're only listening, you definitely have to.
Yeah. But that's a good time to mention though as well is that we now have a discussion forum on Facebook, a discussion board you could say. So join that, join the discussion, join some of the idiotic things that we can say.
Yep.
Yeah, on Facebook we now have a discussion board. So get weird with that if you have not already checked it out.
Yep. Let me, let's see what is
far too long. I really don't like this format that you're doing right now. Just show the damn video or not.
It's almost ready. It's just preloading because we want the high quality.
To sign into Facebook.
Okay, you guys ready for the spaghetti?
And what I'll do is for the audio only listeners, I'm gonna narrate exactly what's happening. So there's no confusion.
All right, let's do this real quick and scene.
Okay, so even though I don't have a live stream here, what you're seeing, it's begun, Paco?
Keep going.
Okay, so what you got here is the spaghetti flowing into a coffee mug. Yep, that's correct. And the spaghetti is going slow. You see a couple of the O's. There's this powder that's slopping on. There's a lot of slop noises if you can hear it.
It overfilled.
Missing a little bit. It's getting sloppier. A lot of spaghetti it's overflowing now. The spaghetti's overflowing out of the mug. And it looks like it's done. There's nothing else. Oh, there's a hot dog. The hot dog just penetrates that mug full of SpaghettiOs. And that's what the discussion board is all about. So hop on there.
It's all about a spaghetti.
I first saw that video. I was like, have we gone gone too far? Like, have we
Block.
done too much? Like, should we stop? Should we shut the show down now?
let's-
Like, there's no reason to continue, right?
All right, we're back. We're back with you, Sam.
Back. All right, so I was thinking that we don't have a guest today, and we just shut the show down, right?
I mean, like, who really? Like, I mean, we don't have Corey. Actually,
we talked to Freddie last week. He's all right. Obviously, as everyone knows, I hate James Dean, so he's never going to be on the show. But so I guess that's pretty much knowing that. So there was no one else that podiumed at Formula Drift Canada, right?
Nah. I mean,
Right.
we had what's his name? The guy we had last week.
Frederick Aspo.
Yes, him. That guy. I mean, you know, I think that was pretty much the only thing we need to talk about.
Yeah.
Right. Oh.
The good news is that we can shut it down, and that's that.
Well, it looks like for some reason we are not gonna be. What happened? Okay. There's something on the Skype. There's a song that goes, "There's something in the Skype." Oh.
So it's thinking about it. Hold on.
It's trying to not regret it. Being
This new show format is really harder to plan these phone calls, right?
it's funny. Like, since we're doing this live, people doesn't call us anymore.
Yeah.
It's like we were always up. Okay.
Hold on.
Hey.
Oh.
Oh, hey.
What's up, guys?
Who is this?
Who is this?
This is Kristaps. I'm not gonna say Latvian, whatever it is. It's Gerald's
Hold on.
stuff he's talking.
Kristap, I'm having a really hard time understanding what you're saying. Do you mind if I bring in the translator real quick? I need someone to tell me your words. So,
Oh, here you go. I know that guy.
He says he knows that guy.
okay. Tell him that from my people to his, we are very pleased to have him on our show in America.
So, from his people to you, we're saying we are very happy to have you here.
Okay. He's gonna be a translator tonight. Okay. Nice to see you, Chris.
Nice to see you too, Kristap.
Yeah.
Wow. I can't believe, like, we have pretty much everybody here. We have Christopher the Forsbergers. We have Sam Nalvin.
Guy off of Fiverr to be a translator.
Who's the force?
So this is actually Kristap's cousin, Christopher Tops.
All right.
And unfortunately, Corey's not here to translate for me, so I'm apologizing for that right now. So
Yeah, so we can't understand Paco. But Kristaps, you are currently in Latvia, and it is 5 o'clock in the morning. What time you got there? Kristaps, you there?
No, it's not that bad. It's 10 p.m. So it's Sunday, 10 p.m. I'm getting ready for a work. Next week starts everything. So starting to prepare for next round. So,
And what do you do for work? Do you work in a factory, like a spark factory?
No, actually, it's a fish factory. I'm packing fishes.
I've always heard you're a real fish packer.
Yeah.
Well,
so that's just.
I remember that video where he's kind of like working like a security guard, and he's like watching the TV monitors, and then suddenly like he finds there's like a drift car and goes and steals it, and he drove all the way to America apparently with that car.
Yep, he drove across the ocean, and he drove
right on that boat and headed out. He
Yep.
stole that car.
I'm still doing it's a part job I'm hired for, and Chris knows that. So when we was visiting us in Latvia, so he visited me while I was working. So that's what I'm doing, as well.
Nice.
It's like I found you
Full-time security.
full-time security. Yeah, then Chris Forsberg came over there, found you, and was like, "Hey, this kid's got talent. Let's bring him into Formula Drift. Have to kick everyone's ass."
All right.
Let's talk about Formula Drift Canada. You hit Oslo about 6 times, right?
No, it was only 5.
Okay.
It's a close assessment, Sam.
Yeah, that was the best.
What I mean, that track that track claimed a lot of cars that weekend. I guess it did kind of claim your transmission gave out or you lost a gear at the end. But what was driving Formula Drift Canada like for you compared to other tracks?
Yeah, it was fun. So I don't know what happened. So we still didn't get that transmission back home, but we definitely will check it out. What happened? Who knows? So maybe we're just like pushing too hard this season. That's why the things start to blow off.
Yeah. But you still, I think when I originally picked my picks for the weekend about who was going to win, before Top 32 even started, I had picked that you were going to be on the podium. I'm happy I wasn't wrong, but it seems like if your car wouldn't have broken that gear, you were going to be on the very top.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know what's going on between me and Frederick, but every time I'm going, there's something, some things going wrong beside the driving. So I gotta get rid of it, and next time make sure not gonna happen again.
What I find incredible is that like you look at like let's say Vaughn's team, or you look at even like the jerk next to me, Forsberg and Turk's team. They've got a lot of people on their team. You have like it's you, your spotter, and like another buddy, right? Like that's your team. You travel around with 3 guys.
That's correct.
Yeah, and you're getting on the podium now often, and you are, what's your points placing right now? You're, Chris knows, I'm sure.
Third.
All right, so you're third right now, and you're in the running for the championship, and you have you and like 2 other guys as your entire team in a trailer, and you drive around the country, and yeah, you're a small operation.
It's tough and it's hard, but we believe we can make it, and I believe if Chris would have his spotter and one mechanic like a Dylan, he would pull it through as well. It's just it's a little bit different for us as we are coming all the way from Europe, and we don't have a backup as some other European teams. So, but we're doing good.
What happened to the double-decker bus that you drove around 2 years ago?
It's back in Russia and Mafia took it over. So we don't have access to that bus anymore.
Because that was special when you first came to Formula Drift, and you didn't have a towing hauler like everyone else. You came in a converted double-decker bus.
I didn't get that, so there was some disconnection.
Oh.
What did you say last?
It was very special that you drove in a converted double-decker bus rather than a towing hauler. That's how you made your first appearance in Formula Drift.
Yeah, we just the plan was to make an impression. I think we did it, and then we just sent it back over to Europe, and that was the plan. So
how hard and expensive it is to
build the bus, spend a lot of money.
How hard and expensive is it to build?
I think it's.
Sorry. You go, Chris. Okay.
How hard? I didn't get that. How hard or how expensive is the bus? What was the
how hard and expensive is it to ship a gigantic bus from Europe to a different country?
Definitely, shipping is way less than to build the bus, but. So like that in a mold, I guess. Still,
it looks like Kristap's connection is a little bit choppy.
Yeah.
Didn't you say, Sam, that Kristap's had only 56K modem connection?
Yeah, Kristap, did your mom pick up the phone and your internet is dying? Can you hear us, buddy?
That's it. Looks.
Yes. All right, good. So you just drove from Montreal to Seattle, and you got to see a lot of our beautiful northern country. How was that?
There it is.
What do you think, guys? Would it be reasonable if we can talk on phone and have a live stream on Skype, because the voice disconnecting all the time, and I'm just barely can hear.
We can do just audio if that works better for you.
How do we get rid of video on this guy? Just get rid of.
Yeah, just turn off your camera, Kristaps, and let's do just audio instead.
Yeah, so we try to do Skype with no camera. I know it should be better.
Damn, I can't work in these conditions.
I know. Sorry, Chris.
How am I supposed to translate for this?
All right, Chris, I'm gonna have you go work on my drift car real quick.
Okay.
There you go.
Hopefully that's better now.
Alright.
You can hear Kristaps.
Yeah. Now looks like it's way better.
All right, sweet. So yeah, what was it like driving from Montreal to Seattle?
It was. It took us like I think 3 days.
Yeah.
Almost non-stop. We stopped in Chicago, stay overnight, and then non-stop 44 hours all the way to Seattle. And yeah, so we did what we had to do. So we stopped in the Nameless. We took our mission, sent it back to Latvia, and then parked our rig at the Dirtfish and flew back. So that's it. So did it all those things in 3 days.
Yeah, man. What's your plan for going into Seattle? I mean, obviously, whatever you're doing is working, but you need to fix your transmission. What are you doing to the car to get back on that podium?
So we're just gonna send in the new transmission. Obviously, we're gonna check out what happened with the existing one, but we'll try to keep it up, and we know what needs to be done, and we know the chemic what works for us, and just gonna try to keep and stay on the top. See where it will take us.
Now, let's talk about how you got to where you are today. How did you start in drifting?
Oh, how did I start drifting? The first car I bought was a BMW T325 when I was 18.
Yeah.
And since that time was at that time we didn't call it drifting, we call it like going sideways or just having fun. And once it was a wet or it was a winter, so we were like going sideways or drifting all the time. And since then I think that's how I started. So in the competition level I started back in 2010.
Yeah, and what was the competition entry level stuff like in Latvia, or did you drive over to Russia, or where did you start competing?
Oh, it was obviously it was a parking lot drifting. So I remember my first competition was like the battles were if you're chasing, you're letting the lead guy, I don't know, like for 3 or 4 seconds. To pull a gap, and only then you start chasing him. So that was how we start the tandem battles. And yeah, compared to what's going on now, it's looks pretty weird, but that was the level of competition back in 2009 here in Latvia.
It's cool that you've driven a BMW from day one. Why did you choose that chassis and that platform, and why are you still with it today?
Because since the day one, I have a daily car BMW. It's very common here in Europe. All the parts are available, and it's just made to be fast. And we just somehow stick to the BMW. And if it works, why should we change something?
Right. Yeah, that's what you said to me in Canada, because I know that it's no secret on the internet, at least, that you guys have built at HDK a crazy E92 chassis, I believe. And I asked you when you're going to switch into that one, but you told me why would you change what's working, which is definitely a good way to look at it, is that your current car seems to work pretty damn well, so there's no reason to change that out, right?
Yeah, exactly. So the E92 is completely finished. It went to the dyno, and it everything is working well. So this upcoming weekend, we're gonna take out for the tests here in a local track to see if we can find any bugs, what is not working. But other than that, it's pretty much ready for competition. But as I said, like we're not gonna in the middle of season for something we are not sure, and we just try to keep it fresh and clean until 2018.
Let's talk about Canada again and your battles. So it looks like you started off strong with a bye run because you qualified second. So you had to face off against Byron in top 32, and thankfully you beat Byron.
Yeah, it was a tough it was a tough and it was easy, but I'm glad we made it because there was a guys who didn't made it, so
yeah,
we luckily did it.
Got beaten by Byron.
Yeah, so things happen.
And then in round 16, you went up against Kat Moffman. What was it like going against?
Moffman.
Uh,
Yeah, I know that guy. He's crazy. He's driving a rally and all the time. Like when I was watching his runs, he's going full throttle all the time. So I know it wouldn't be easy for me, but since I was leading and I knew that I pull a pretty big gap on my lead run in the chase run, so I had to stay in a just like one car gap, and that was. I think I even hit him as well. I didn't meant it, but that's how it went. And luckily we got to top 8, where strange things at that time happened already because Matt Field and Dean Kearney crashed pretty hard, and he barely made it back to the start line and went against us in the top 8, and I knew like he's down on power because there was no supercharger for him. He was NA on on low compression, so obviously, but still that car I think made some 700 horsepower, and as much as I know, he put the pressure on the rear tires something like around 40 just to make it work, and it was pretty good. So respect for him. And it was quite good run still on with the car like it was.
Yeah, did it feel like when you were following him? Did it feel like he was extremely low on power? I mean, imagine you could tell that he was down 500 horsepower. But how was it hard to follow him?
I knew he's gonna go a shallow line, and I shouldn't take any risks because at that situation you already have to a little bit do a calculation. So I was one gear down. I was on third all the course, and it was pretty good run. Not the closest one, not the most beautiful one, but it was enough to advance.
And then you had to fight against Von Gittin Jr. Yeah, and unfortunately, right before that battle, the car gave out on oil pressure, and Von's motor. I just realized, Kristaps, you really didn't have to work very hard in Canada, did you?
Yeah, as I said, like on a review, I already said like it was quite lucky for us. All that mess up with the field and the problems with Von. Hopefully he didn't pull off just because of it was me.
Yeah, well, see what happened. I was on the radio, and he's like, "I don't want to run against this crazy fucking gonna hit me and call me up."
Yeah, because just before I was leaving the course, and he was on the start line, and I was going through the grandstands, and I look at him. Maybe he just like didn't like the way I look at him, and that's how he just pulled it off.
Yeah. You want to, so then you want to get to Osbo, but we talked about that a little bit already, but so do you want to talk about the famous now internet video from Long Beach where it at least was edited to make it appear like you had yelled fucking pussy to Osbo?
Yeah, it was a nice edit, so congrats to that guy who made it. I don't know how he got that material, but it was a nice edit. So, and the other day, Andy came to me and was like saying like, "Oh, it's a nice video of you." I was like, "Come on, guys, it was your video."
Yeah, right. But yeah, because it was from the Blackview in-car camera, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So,
like somebody pulled it from the live feed and they just recorded it. Is there more pressure knowing that you have like a live camera following you everywhere now, or do you think that's all okay?
No, not really. So I really don't. Wow, can I have one too?
Well, this is actually, it's funny you should ask, because this is actually Ryan Turk's third place trophy from Long Beach that he decided that he didn't want. So he left it at Forsberg's house, and now it's on my champagne glass.
Keep extra trophies around the house so when people come to town, they don't have to drink.
I'm glad it's not a trophy from 2000. What was it? 2015 when he won a battle against me, due to the collision with me, theoretically. And and afterwards that night he won that round, beating me like without a ball. So, but
Forsberg? No, Kristaps first. It's almost as if you still have a grudge over this, Kristaps.
Ooh.
Yeah. You want
no,
to vent a little bit?
Let's have a moment
it
here.
wasn't a Turk fault. It wasn't a Turk fault. It was I would say it was something that was missing in the rules, but is corrected now. So I'm glad I showed the way what needs to be improved.
But of new rules.
Do you want to
Yeah,
explain what does that actually mean?
It was it was the whole not crossing the yellow line, interrupting the lead driver situation, and so there's a bit of controversy because Turk floated up and crashed into the bank wall, and there was no actual contact. However, Kristaps was like sucked up to his door in Kristaps fashion.
Yeah.
And so he was right there, and so there was a play on. He could have taken his line and not given him the room to rotate down, and so he floated up and crashed into the wall. So, it was a very, very gray area, and so Turk ended up moving on. And similar to Kristaps round here in Canada, Turk won the event with battling almost nobody.
Yeah.
Because I had, in my fire extinguisher.
Oh, that's not right.
My car
Exactly. See? So this is pretty much the same situation that we had back in a few years ago. So
hold on before you go back to working on my car, Chris.
Oh yeah, sorry.
That's actually something I want to talk about. So I did notice that, especially this round, and I've seen it more and more, is chase drivers initiating like very close and being very, in other words, blocking the lead driver's line almost. And I think that Dean is guilty of it for sure. I've noticed even Vaughn maybe doing it. A ton of drivers just like, as a follow driver.
All of a sudden it became okay to start doing this maneuver again. And so, you saw it in Canada a lot. And Di did it to me even. And I honestly feel that's one of the reasons why that he won, because it was so aggressive right off the bat. Where I tried to kind of stay behind him and like float in and closed in as soon as we got to angle. But everyone else kind of goes in side by side and pitches in. And so now you have the cars at this kind of spacing instead of this. And so they pitch in and then they slowly work themselves back and get on the same line. And so that seemed like it was, it looks great, especially from the fans and, from the stands when you see the two cars going right in side by side.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I feel about it because once you pitch in, there's that like.
As a lead driver.
You got the car closing right in on your door, and it can disrupt you a little bit when you're supposed to be behind the door line.
What do you think about that kind of stuff?
Yeah, actually, I don't see a point to have that yellow line, because the guy who is chasing, he should have a control 100% over his car and just to do everything possible to avoid any collision or contact during the transition. But if the judges want, and some of the guys like doing those flicks back and forth all the time, so doesn't matter to me. I'm still doing the same style transitions in all my runs. So just sometimes, the guys when do the flick, you just have to like maybe a little bit take left or right, but that's what it is. So it doesn't make sense for me.
Yeah. Sometimes you just gotta do what feels right.
Kristaps, who could beat you in a fist fight in the FD competitors? if you got in a fist fight with anyone, who would beat you?
Oh, the other night you were talking to the Frederick about like who would go against who, and I think you forgot the most biggest possible fight. What about James Dean against Nate Hamilton?
Little hammer versus big dinger. Like I think James Ding would. He'd just like
I don't know. He might not be able to catch him.
I was gonna say he's like slowly trying to grab him, and then Nate Hamilton just run between his legs and like.
Foom, I will catch you.
Down.
Oh man, that's a good
Yeah,
battle.
that probably the Nate Hamilton couldn't reach the Dean, but as well like what Dean would do with the Nate Hamilton, right? That also could be a problem. So he
Yeah.
probably had to shorten him like 2 times.
Nate has those skateboarding skills, so I'm sure he can like kind of like run through like in between his legs and get him on the back, and you know like I think it'll be one of those like Bugs Bunny chase.
Since he's from Texas, he might have a gun, and that should be
Oh.
enough.
Oh.
Well, I know for a fact. I know
Loaded.
for a fact that Nate Hamilton always carries a gun in his car. And but that just reminded me though, Kristaps, what happened to your phone during your battle with Osbo?
Oh, that's pretty weird story as well. I lost it just before the top 4. With my run against Byron, and I was looking for it. It was pretty dark outside in a hot area, so we looked over in a race car, in the seats, on the floor, everywhere. We looked around. I couldn't find it, and then before the final battle, I was still looking for it, and I was like, all right, whatever, lost it. So we'll get a new one. And then on the outer zone 2, when I hit the Frederick, I don't know. I have no idea where it flew out. It's still, obviously, it was somewhere in the car. It flew out, and then, as I understood, Frederick drove it over and completely smashed in all possible ways. But we found it because my crew guy he turned on Find My iPhone, and it was still blinking and sending some weird noise. I got it. I went back to Chicago. I went to the guys, and they just changed the display. It's now kind of a little bit like a banana, but it's working.
Wow.
Yeah. So to clarify, you had your phone in your car somewhere. You hit Osbo on the track, and then it flew out the window, and then he proceeded to run over your phone.
Yeah, so I don't know. Maybe if we could get a high resolution picture of that hit, maybe you could find somewhere a phone flying out.
Yeah, right.
Wow.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
That's insane, though. And then I just think it's funny that he somehow managed to run over your phone, and then you found it later. Yeah.
Really? You're kicking them wide down.
Yeah. I know. Oh,
Yeah.
What kind of
Thanks for calling me a pussy. I just ran over your phone.
Yeah, so
what kind of
me the phone now.
what kind of phone does Kristaps Blušs? Are you an Android or iPhone kind of guy?
Come on, look at him.
I'm what?
Are you an Android phone
What was the
or
question? Can you
iPhone?
repeat that?
He's not a nerd, Paco. He doesn't speak your nerd talk.
I'm an
iPhone.
iPhone guy. Yeah, I'm an Android guy on a PC,
Oh,
but the phone is iPhone. Yeah.
See, like there you go. Maybe Osbo is an Android guy, and that's why he saw the phone and the floor is like, oh, I'm just gonna crush that iPhone.
Yeah. Oh, here's the iPhone. It's probably Kristap, so I'm just gonna drive over.
Yep, there you go.
Do you still think that Osbo's a fucking pussy?
That's a nice story. They made it up, and I think it's good for the FD series. And a lot of guys are coming over and just like, can you sign this? Can you sign that? At the end, we are like good friends, and we talked it over. But I think it's just a good story and made of it, and I'm glad we still can make fun of it.
Yeah.
So just to be clear, there is an actual real like anger between you guys. That was just a sensationalized account of Long Beach.
Yeah. So anyone who is doing a brake check is a pussy, right? So after what about that? After FD Canada, looking at the replays and most of the runs, I would say we have to create a new rule. What about the left foot brake? So did you saw like the run James Dean against Frederick Asbo when the James was leading? How many times there is a left foot brake? How many times? It's crazy. It's I just simply don't get it. Why?
Yeah.
Even if you are not slowing down, why should you use it?
Yeah, I mean, you could say that it's to maintain your angle or your line, or to try to have like the perfect line, just be in that perfect zone. But I imagine as a follow driver, it's tough to follow someone who is kind of unpredictably left foot braking, right?
Yeah, maybe judges should look on that. If there's like left foot braking, it's a diesel, right? Even if isn't, it theoretically still is, right? So, and it was all over the course left foot brake. So why they call it like a good run if there was no good run, since the lead guy is all the time brake checking?
Yeah, so you're saying that if you're left foot braking in an acceleration zone, that should be deemed as a hit against you, like you're decelerating.
Exactly. At least if there is no collision. So when you compare the lead runs, if they're exactly the same, and one of the guys is all the time on the left foot brake and the other isn't, so the other guy gets advantage. Why not?
Sure.
We can call that rule dirty left foot.
Dirty left foot.
Rule.
Paco, watching live stream, did you notice a lot of left foot braking more than normal?
Well, actually on that last run where Kristaps hit Osborne, pretty much he kept going, and that was it. When I was on the live stream, I couldn't notice, but then somebody posted a video on our discussion board, and you can and you can see that Osbo's front LED lights go on, and then Kristaps hits him. I don't know if the car is actually going slower or not, or if it was just kind of like an adjustment. But I mean that's what it looked like in that video. So do you think he brake checked you again, or
No.
Uh-huh.
There's like the real thing. What happened is after inner clip 1 and between the touch and go and outer zone 2, I was very shallower line, so that's why I hit him. And that hit, it could be maybe, now goes to the theory, it could be less or not that big hit if he would stay on a throttle, so I wouldn't hit him maybe on a front wheel. So that we stopped there. I think we stopped only there because I hit him in the front wheel instead of the doors. And if I would hit the door, it wouldn't be that strong. So we might go still on outer zone 2 all the way. But it's only theory. And looking at the videos, my line was way shallower than his, and that was the problem why I hit him. Even before that collision, I was like on locking my brakes, and you can see that, and I still couldn't slow down enough to keep staying on his door. So, but my target was to push him all the way through to the finish line, and just in the finish line, push him out on the racetrack.
That's
I meant to do that at the finish line, not in outer zone 2.
Yeah.
Well,
I like how much you couldn't wait for him to slow. Or you couldn't wait for him to just like get off the track. It's like, all right, you push him off, and like, all right, well, I'm gonna finish this run down. Like, I don't got time for this. I got places to be. Let's shut this down.
Yeah, definitely. It was my mistake, and I said that to him just after the run. So we'll get him next time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, that's what I was saying. Like when I was watching the live stream, and you walk to Frederick's door, and he's like trying to take off his harness to get off the car, and you're like walking at him. I was like, oh, what's going on? What's gonna happen? And then I see you. You're laughing, and you're like, you guys are kind of like just like high fiving each other, and you hug it out. That was pretty cool to see, because even though like a lot of people was like, oh my God, it's about to go down, something's gonna happen here.
This is not it. So the big show is just coming up, huh?
Exactly.
Sure. I picture that you probably went over to him and whispered in his ear, "I must break you."
Yeah, I'm gonna break you.
What's best than Kristaps doing a Russian accent? Nothing.
Yeah, I can do a really hard one. So we already did that with Jared once after, I think it was last year after Urbandale. So he was like making a fun of my accent all the time, that is hardcore or pre-Russian style. But then we turned into like a real Russian gangster accent, and it was like it's the next level.
Well, I have to hear it now. What does that sound like?
What does it sound like? What do you want me to say?
Say, I must break you.
I'm gonna break you, you motherfucker. You fucking pussy.
Kolya.
What is can I hear your best American accent? What do we sound like?
Oh, I'm not that good on that, so I'm
I
trying
don't
to.
know. It's my favorite things to hear people's best American voices.
Can't do it really.
What about?
Yeah, come on. Let me hear you say, "Let's go to the mall and buy a soda."
How do I say that? With American
Just say
accent?
it with an American accent.
What
He's
about that?
preparing.
Say it again.
Yeah. Let's go to the mall and have soda. Dope.
What about your best Von Gittin Jr. impersonation?
Oh yeah, let's hear what you sound like if you're trying to be Von Gittin.
If I try to beat, well, let's say, how do we say that?
You can say, "Hey, I'm out here and I'm having a great time."
Pumped on being stoked.
Hey, it's me, Kristaps Blušs. So,
Von Gittin.
But you have to do it more live, and there is a lot of like what is called like a sign language when he's throwing out the hands all the time.
Yeah.
So that should be a combination of a talk and just signs.
Try to follow me, Kristaps. So here it goes. It goes kind of like this. Von Gittin Jr. here. We're live. We're here in Maximum Driftcast. We're pumped. We're stoked on being here with you guys. And we have Kristaps Blušs. He's gonna do an impersonation of Von Gittin Jr. Kristaps.
Yeah. Hey, what's up, guys? This is Kristaps. We're live. We're broadcast with Maximum Driftcast. We're going live, so this is gonna be a good show.
Man, I wish we had you on camera.
No, that's good.
You gotta do that again with cameras on.
Yeah, as I said, in Seattle, we could definitely do something like that. I should probably do that as one of Ron's media program, to just go around the pits and have everyone do their best Von impression.
Be a great video.
The whirlwinds and wow, good.
What's Kristaps? You've now driven Seattle track for this will be your third year, I think, right? But what's the trick to Seattle? Is it a hard track? Are you excited to drive there? Or do you hate it?
Actually, the most important is that we have a rig and a car next to it. Compared to the last year when we stuck in Wyoming for 3 days or even 4 when our truck broke down, and then like we just arrived like completely without a sleep, and that last year was a disaster, not the race. But other than that, it's a long bank. Actually, it's not the bank; it's more flat like than the bank. But it's fast track, and I think it suits our style again. As I said, like now all the upcoming tracks are pretty fast, and since FD Canada, we switched to 285s. Now we are on the biggest possible tire in Achilles, so means we should add some speed. I think we already did in Canada, and should be a good one. So it's as well. It's pretty technical. So after a long turn, you have to slow down and then go into a field and then a transition. So should be all right for us. So I think we have sort of advantage in a turn 1 against the others.
And what made you want to choose to add weight to your car and go to a fatter tire?
Actually, we just had to weigh about like 30 pounds, but is not really a lot. So we just what we did, we changed the battery to weigh heavier, and now there is even more load on the rear axle. Yeah, and why not? So,
Yeah.
275s. We tried them in the wall and compared 275s, and I really felt the difference. Why not?
Yeah, for sure. How many batteries do you have in your car? 3 or 4?
2. One for the car and one for iPhone.
That's why your phone flew out the window. It's connected to your battery.
Yeah, it's connected to my battery, exactly.
Do you want to talk, Sam? Do you want to ask Kristaps about this little thing we have right here?
Let's talk about jack stand day in Atlanta there when you took your 5 minutes and drove off the jack stand. So I've actually seen a lot of 5-minute calls that ended, unfortunately, for a lot of people this year. What was going through your head during the jack stand crushing incident?
Kevin showed me like we are not gonna make it. He said like we are about to run out of time, and it was like I knew like everything is finished in the front. It was just the jack. It still was in the jack stand. So what I did, I just like a little bit pull it forward a little bit. So I wasn't really I wouldn't say I drove over the jack stands. I just like pulled them down slowly.
As you say this, of course, Paco's holding up the jack stand, showing a completely crushed jack stand. Like, I wouldn't say that I drove over it, but
it would definitely turn into a jack stand taco.
It was a soft landing.
I feel like it was kind of like a thing of defiance, though, right? Like they had told you, like, oh, you're out of time, Kristap. Like, car's got to be on the ground, and you're like, fuck this, and like you just drove off. Like, now my car's on the ground. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
But
what about now? What's next?
You didn't even have lugs on the car, though, right?
I didn't know that. Yeah, the rear right wheel didn't have enough lugs. Yeah, I think it had only 2, something like that. But it wasn't about that. That's the funniest thing about it. We shouldn't have changed the tires. All we had to do is just to change the control arm in the front, and that's it. And afterwards, we could change the tires or at least leave the same as we had. So that was a mistake because on those 5 minutes, the guys decided to change the tires.
Yeah, that's what everyone does that though. When you call your 5 minutes, you say like, "Oops, if I'm fixing my car anyways, I might as well get some fresh rubber on there."
See, we are not that common with those 5-minute rules and what is allowed and what is not allowed, what you can do afterwards. But that's fine. So we're still learning and try to remember, learn from our mistakes and just get better.
I think the best part is when the camera is showing the phone with a time, and Kevin Wells is like pretty much like just saying no, and he's nodding with his head, no, ain't happening, and you're just looking at him with like this ice cold look, and you're like just nodding yes, and then suddenly just clunk first gear.
Did you just say no to me?
Yeah,
exactly.
Do you know where he lives?
We can get you his address.
I don't need to. I know he's gonna be. I know his schedule for the rest of the season.
You know, do you think that the rules with the current 5-minute rules are they good? Should they be changed? Is 5 minutes enough time? Should be longer? Should they allow you multiple times to fix your car? How do you feel about it?
I mean, like in the top 32 or top 16, maybe they could prolong that time. But like when there is a top 4 or there is a finals, so that's what it is. So that's the same rules for everybody, and nobody really can predict what's gonna happen or not gonna happen. So I think it's just the way it is, just to not wait spectators and just put up a good show. So
yeah,
that's what it is. So probably within those 14 years, they figured out that this is the case how it works.
Yeah. So even though you've been screwed by it, you don't really see a better way to go about it. Like there's not really an improvement to make.
No, I don't think so. So everybody's playing the same rules, so same as we. So whatever it is. So sometimes you get lucky, sometimes less, sometimes more.
Yeah.
But that's the part of the game.
What is your least favorite track of the Formula Drift circuit?
I think it's still Urbandale, because of the outer zone 2. On that speed and the way how that wall starts, I think it's the most trickiest part in our whole season.
And what specifically about the speed? Just because you're coming off of that quick transition, and then you're going fast as hell, and then you gotta slow down.
Yeah, basically you have to, on that high speed, you have to fly next to that wall and keep going a full throttle. So knowing that it's quite sharp corner, the very beginning.
Yeah.
Once you hit it, you are done for the rest of the weekend. Not even the corners. So maybe a third or the fourth concrete block. Once you hit it on that speed, so there is no way you can pull it out.
Yep.
So this is the most trickiest part.
Paco and I, when we were there, I think 3 years ago, the first time we were just shooting one of my shows early on, we watched not one but 2 cars flip over in front of us at that wall there.
Yeah, so I know they're proving that the very beginning in the last years, but I think like 3 or 4 years ago it was even worse than now.
Oh yeah. And what's your favorite track to drive?
I think it's still Urbandale. However, our car is a little bit down on power on that track, at least last year, because we didn't know the settings, what needs to be done for the night, for the late night, and hope we can manage and improve the result this year. Other than that, but all the racetracks are good. All of them are fun, and the high speed and that crazy grip we are getting on those cars, it's amazing.
I shudder to ask you, like, when I ask, like, what are you having for dinner tonight, Kristap? I think Urbandale.
Oh, a dinner. All right.
What do you think about Texas? Because like I feel like that's a track that is a strange beast. Now that we've run it forwards and backwards, and both seem to kind of be not working. I don't know. I feel like backwards it's not working a lot because you're blind half the time. What do you think about driving the Texas track? Is that tough for you?
Actually, I've driven it only one way. I don't know what is the other way, how it feels, but from the videos I'm looking, I think the way we are driving it now, it's more fun. Even if you are blind, you are blind only if there is a gap between the lead car and the chase car. If you are in a door, there is no blind spot beside transitions. But I think and especially in the last turn when you have to like fly near the wall, that's as well is pretty tricky, and many guys have got sucked into that wall as well, and it's more spectacular, more watchable for the spectators, I guess, this way as it is now. Other than if it's opposite, so you kind of like drive away from the spectators. So.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't really think about it like that. But that wall obviously ended Vaughn's season a couple seasons ago. So obviously know that that's a rough part. I like that. I like the 115 mile an hour initiation though into that corner, because the first year that drove out there from Phoenix with Corey and Dustin and Chris, they're having Forsberg test out the initiation for how far back they should drive to get enough speed and initiate. And when he was testing it out, I think he initiated a couple times, like 115, 120, 130. Like, it was just insane to rip an e-brake at the top of fourth gear and that. But yeah, I guess it's still less of a spectator-friendly track if you reverse it again.
For the high-speed initiation, we have Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
So it's almost it's very close to 120. Not, I would say, like, I think this year I made it 110.
Jeez.
Yeah.
My top speed was 110. Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. And we've seen at Grid Life last year, Forsberg and It was La Fama Blanca still at the point. Still the White Flame. He entered at 155 miles an hour.
It was a grid life. Yeah, that was a crazy. Something else. I read somewhere an article like, could it be like a gate bill?
Yeah.
Like the grid life?
Yeah, that was Speed Hunters. Speed Hunters article this week saying Grid Life be the new Gattetum. And I would say that if Kristaps Blušs came to Grid Life, it could be maybe. Are you going to come to Grid Life South?
When is it?
Apago, August something.
It's on. It's August the 20th.
No.
Come on, man, just get out there. I'll even let you drive my car.
It's running.
Well,
it's still running.
Chris and I are actually going out there. That's the reason I'm at Forsberg's house. Is we're gonna go finish up the car, put some wheels on it for Drift Garage. But yeah, it's kind of running.
It's Friday, August 25th, and to Sunday 27th at Road Atlanta.
Well, because it is actually kind of funny because when we were at last Grid Life, we did actually say, and this shows how much we like you, Kristap. We did say that this thing was one Blues short of a good time. Because I feel like you would fit right in with the mayhem that was going on there.
Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. So our car is in the West Coast at that time, and we still have to finish the season. And I think it's exactly 1 month's gap between the rounds. So obviously, I'll try to be here home and make some money and spend time with family.
Let's talk about what you do in Latvia. So you're not at Formula Drift in America. What are you doing back home?
We are running our HGK workshop. We are building those crazy cars for the customers and friends and buddies and if there is a chance, so sometimes we go for the competitions. Like next weekend there will be a Drift Masters in Riga. It's pretty good lineup. James Dean is coming. Piotr Bencek is coming. The buddies from the FD. And the many local guys as well. So it will be a pretty tough lineup. And I'm glad that it's like a week before Seattle, so I can get some competition practice and hopefully as well get in a podium.
And what are you driving for that?
My European car, it's E46 chassis, just engine setup is the same as Alex Helburn has. It's LS7 with 4-liter supercharger.
Nice.
And So how did you guys become what you are today in the BMW drift world? You guys just became the people to see for BMW building? Like, how did you get to this spot?
Yeah, those cars, like the BMWs, I think they're why we are building more BMWs than other chassis, because we are driving them. So I think that's how we show the potential and the performance of the BMW. But other than that, we have built the GT86, few of them Supras, few Corvettes, I think few Nissans S13s. But the most common is still the BMW, yes.
Yeah. What's going on with that Corvette that ran Pro 2 a couple of years ago? Is that Corvette still around?
Yeah, it's still alive and doing Russian and Belarus championships, so it's still running there. We haven't seen it for a while, but looks good so far.
It still looks good for now.
Yeah, he's still crashing a lot, but and it's in the perspective of a spare parts, it's good for us. And but he's doing well.
What do you think now that Daigo Saito is driving a Corvette as well? Do you think you guys might have a little bit of an influence on that?
I think yes, because there is a lot of parts from us on those Corvettes, and
it's all that Kevlar, right?
Yeah, as well, and the suspension parts as well, and transmission we are building for him, the Winters and some Sonus combination for the drivetrain. But I'm glad that he switched for the Corvette because then we have an extra feedback how to improve that chassis. So I think I still think that's the most competitive chassis for the drift.
Wow.
So
really?
if you can afford it, because it's quite expensive, if you can afford it the way it is in the top shape, it's the most competitive car.
So
And as much as I hear, there will be some for the FD next year. So we'll see.
are you guys
yeah.
doing the rear transmission setup like the Corvette, but with the Winters, like a quick change rear transmission engine in the front and all that?
Yeah, because the Z06 has the transmission at the rear linked directly to the diff.
Yep.
And what we create how to link some Sonas with Winter's diff with a quick change. The only thing you have to adjust is you have to install the Winters upside down because it wouldn't fit in Corvette the way it is. So therefore, there's a lot of modifications what needs to be done inside, and you need to add an extra oiling system to run the diff.
Because if you run it upside down, the wheels will rotate the other way, right? So you have to make the gears change the rotation.
Yeah. There's. I'm not doing it myself, but the guys completely taking it in the pieces and adjusting, especially for the upside down version.
Wow. That's crazy. That's going on Daigo's car, right?
That's as well going on Daigo's car. Yeah. By the way, yeah, I think he stepped in the podium with a Corvette for the first time in D1 this weekend.
It's probably the first Corvette in D1 at all ever.
Earlier today.
Yeah.
Yeah. He got second. Yeah.
So if the Corvette is the most competitive drift car, you think, why aren't you driving one?
I can't afford it.
I mean, it's not like you're. I mean, aren't you building a new car for next year also?
It's already completed. We thought we're gonna run it this season, starting from the round 2 or maybe 3, but to finish it took us a little bit longer, and then we decided why should we hurry things up, and we're just gonna try to keep it for the next year, and it's going to SEMA as well, so everybody will have a chance to see it in person before the next season.
You guys don't you're not running a leaf spring on the suspension anymore, is that right? You're just doing change everything to coilovers and springs?
Yes, exactly.
See, that would be crazy, man, because even the new 6.7 still has a leaf spring, like from factory, yeah, and it's been the same design for like 50 years.
Classic Chevy.
Yeah, a good old Corvette.
Yeah, but the company, the shock company we are working with, Nitron in England, so we create the shocks for the Corvette, especially for the drift setup as well. They made it for the circuits setup, so it's way different than the stock ones, but everything is possible. So the fixing points still remain the same, but there is a difference in lengths and specs.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. Before we get to fan questions on Instagram and all that, I wanted to get back to FD for 1 second. So you are in third place right now, 75 points still behind James. Is a lot, but not doable. You still have a chance of winning the championship. Awesome. So my question is, how do you beat James Dean? Because James Dean is coming to FD this year and kind of kicks all the American, everyone else's asses in competition. How do you run against a guy like that?
Yeah, so in the last 2 rounds, we are shortening that gap. I think it was 100, now it's only 75, so theoretically, we still have a chance. Because, if you like meet, let's say, James Dean in top 32, what is like 16 points, and if you grab the win, what is like 100 points, so that gap is gone. Mm-hmm. So theoretically, everything is possible, and I don't know. So see how it goes. He's a robot. He's a tough guy, but not still human. So
Is he? Why does he keep on winning? What does he do? What's his? Is it his style? Is it his speed? Like, why do the judges keep voting for him?
Because that's what he's doing since he's 13, right?
Right.
If, nothing else. So there is nothing else for him he's doing beside the drifting. So obviously, the time and the he spent behind the wheel is way more than I did. So I started drifting when I was in a competition level like 30 years old, and he started when he was 13. So he learned way more, and he's just doing it like very natural. But there is nothing like his runs like are very common, and there is nothing he can surprise you with. So other than that, so
he's never done. He's never done anything. He only drift for his entire life. He's never kissed a girl. He never held hands. He never watched a movie.
Kristap's busy feeling some titties, and James Dean's over there just shifting away.
Yeah,
janking on shifters and e-brakes.
Hopefully it's not that bad, yeah. But other than that, he's a cool guy. So
yeah, no, he seems like a great guy. We're gonna hopefully at some point get him on the show. Hey, if we can get Kristap, who's 10 hours away time-wise, we can get Dean at some point. What's gonna happen when inevitably you and James Dean do battle? You gonna push him off the track? What's your plan?
I'll try to do the same I did in Wall. So just put up the way more crazier lead run, because we know everybody knows he's doing a good lead run. So if he's going 9, you have to go 11.
Right.
And then just to stay on his door, and because he's one of the guys who is if he gets the hit, he's not gonna lift the throttle. So I 100% trust him, and gonna do the same what I did with Frederick in Canada. So just gonna bang his door all the way to the finish line.
There you go. Push him, but this time you're gonna wait till the finish line and push him through the line, not before then.
Yeah. So, but there is a limit when you're going those above 100%. So that's where you're making those mistakes, and there's you have to feel that either you cross that line or not. So if you pull it through, it's amazing. If not, you're done.
Paco, do you have any more questions before we hit the Instagrams?
Actually, I was just curious how the summers in Riga, Latvia. You guys have like beautiful weather?
Yeah, actually, this weekend it was pretty good. So I don't know how much in Fahrenheit, but we have 23, 24 degrees this weekend. Last 2 days I'm sleeping a lot, so I'm not spending a lot of time outside. But it's nice weather. Used to be way better, like I don't know, like 10 years ago. But it's good. It's all right.
Have you ever been to Arizona during the summer?
Just a few times we drive through, and that's crazy. Yeah, those 110 degrees. It's unbelievable. how you can live there.
Yeah, Sam had to leave. I mean, he's gone. right when we finish putting together our studio, and he leaves. Like, now we can take the studio to Venice, Sam. What are we gonna do now?
But now we use how to use that to make.
It looks like I think Kristap, he owns dinosaurs, and they're like walking all over his place right now.
So let's get to those Instagram questions. These are questions from kids on the internet. We asked them what they would like to ask a Latvian lover, and they responded. So I'll get it fired up. Max Frolic says, how much to get you and Osbo into the ring?
How much to get me and Osbo where?
In the boxing ring. How much money will it take for you and Osbo to box?
How much money?
Yeah.
Yep.
I think if we can make each of us like 50 grand, we would do that.
That's it? Only 50 grand? All right, fine. All right, Max, it's time to go out there and start raising funds, buddy. All right, and AZZ82 says, what's more fun, drifting in front of sold-out Formula Drift crowds or drifting through some abandoned back roads in a forest?
I think back in the roads in forest.
Yeah.
Because there's less stress. Competition is still competition, so there's a lot behind the driving, and if you do something wrong, you're done. In forests, like you can have the fun all day long, like in the grid life.
There you go.
Yep. I have a question from Grape for Ape, something like that. I can never tell how to say his name. There, Grape 4P. He's when do we get to see the E92 Eurofighter in the States?
In a best case, it will be Texas.
So
yeah, but we're just gonna bring it maybe to do some tests and
hard park it.
Yeah, but not for the Friday and Saturday competition. And in latest in SEMA.
You should bring it to Atlanta Grid Life.
Good point. So yeah, we just need to find somebody who pays for that.
Well, let's see if we can arrange that.
Easy.
All right, Matt, go ahead. Let's get Kristap out there. What Venutastic says, who is the biggest pussy in FD, and also what's the national Latvian dish?
There was 2 questions.
Yes.
Yep. Or it could be the same thing.
As I said, like the pussy is the guy who is brake checking. So whoever is brake checking is a pussy.
Okay. And what's the national Latvian dish?
Yeah, what's your national dish in Latvia?
I think it's
Of course.
shish kebab, maybe a meat. Yeah.
Oh my God,
Really
shish
big.
kebab! I love it. I'm hungry now. Actually, do you know what? I'm gonna get me shish kebab after this.
Yeah. Beer and shish kebab. What about that?
Perfect.
That
I'm
sounds like
loving
a
it.
wonderful dish.
Let's move to Latvia, Sam.
Yeah. All right. Another question from Pistonhead Productions. I don't know the truth behind all this, but he says, with companies such as BMW rejecting drifting, do you think we'll see a change of opinion with the FIA getting involved?
Only if they will create enough powerful engine. Only. So, like FA, yeah, it might be interesting for them, but if they're still having that engine range they're having now, there is nothing you can choose from. So,
yeah.
But I think the engineers, what they have behind, I definitely think they can create one NA 800, 900 horsepower easily. They have plenty of money for that and and knowledge.
Our long-time listener, first-time listener, Iron Dookie says, what's one rule you would like to add to the 2018 FD rulebook, and what's one you'd like to get rid of?
Dirty left foot.
Dirty left foot. Yeah, get rid of the dirty left foot. So you penalize people for left foot braking.
Yeah, so at least it's disadvantage, not to penalize, but if you compare the lead runs and you see there is a lot more left foot braking, so it's a disadvantage against the other guy.
Well, I know for a fact that Ryan, the Lawnmower Man Lontaine, as well as occasionally the other judges do listen to our show. So Kristap said it here first. He called you guys fucking pussies. And he said, that's what he said, right, Kristap?
Yeah, pretty much.
What's one rule you want to get rid of?
The rule I want to get rid of? Wow. That's a good question. I don't know. Nothing like I could
What about
complain about.
What about the rule about not having beer on the track?
Not having a beer on the track. I think if you really want to, you can always have one. You just have to figure it out how.
Just put it on a glass, on a like a can of energy drink or something like that.
Yeah, there is a lot of tools, like the girls can hang it underneath the breasts, the like sort of like I don't know.
Speaking of girls, one of the things we've noticed is that every time during the introduction on Top 16, everybody has like an umbrella girl, and I'm not completely sure, but I think all these times it's only you. It's just you with your car, and like I don't need no umbrella girl. in Mother Latvia car models you.
You see, this is really not. Why don't we take this rule out? So nobody has the umbrella girl.
Oh.
Because now the thing is like this is what the tire company needs to take care of it, right?
Uh-huh.
And so far, maybe I don't know what's the reason why Achilles doesn't pay attention to that. But you are not the only ones who saying that. I'm having friends back home saying like I'm like I don't know, the last man on earth, like standing there.
If you don't have an umbrella girl in Seattle, can I be your umbrella girl?
I was gonna say Paco, I'm sure is open to do it in Seattle.
I'm open for this discussion, and
It's happening.
Yeah, maybe we can in every single state we can get some umbrella girls, but it's a bit complicated because it used to be like you can take it in your car and just drive it over, and nowadays it's like they have to specifically go there, then step out on a racetrack, and it's so much things you need to know, so you just can't get the girl from the side and just tell you're gonna be my umbrella girl.
Well, Paco's already fully dialed in. He's already got his latex mini skirt. He's got his pumps. He's ready to
Everything.
Yeah. So if the Driftcast can take care of it, I will be happy.
It's
we can take care of that, no problem.
consider it done. It's happening.
But as I say, you also need to Paco. What about Corey? If Corey makes a show for top 16, don't you have to be his umbrella girl too?
But that's a different. That's on Thursday, right? No, that's on Friday.
Yeah, no, but I'm saying that would Corey be upset if you cheated on him and we're Kristap's umbrella boy?
Well, Corey
umbrella boy.
I think he should be okay. He's all about sharing. Sharing is caring.
Let's see. We got a couple more questions here.
I have a question here from our good buddy XX Beaver Bay 420XX, and I'm not making that up. That's his username, and he says, "Were you aware that Turk is a master of destroying shit before loaning him a BMW for that video?"
Yeah. By the way, he I don't know how about the other cars, but luckily the cars we gave him, he didn't broke them. So either they're good or he's not good enough to break them.
Oh, called out, Turk. Sam?
We got a couple more. Cami Bordelon says, what's it like having a small pit crew in FD? We kind of touched on that, but I want to, as a politely ask, I want to hear a little bit more. Why do you have a small crew, and is it beneficial for you to be such a tight crew?
First of all, we are only 3 guys who are flying over to US. So if we would have, I don't know, if we could raise the budget maybe a few times, we might bring the more guys. Sometimes the AJ is helping us out in the East Coast, and if he's in States, the guy. Other than that, we completely, we can make it. So our car is well prepared. There is no technical failures, and if it's only about the fuel and tire change, it's enough to have one guy and one spotter to do that. If there is a breakage, I can help out myself, and it's just the way it is. So it works, and there is nothing we couldn't do ourselves, 3 of us. So that's it.
Yep. As I said, there's definitely some benefits to having a tight team, but if there was an extra couple $100,000 in the budget, I'm sure you would hire some more people nonetheless, right?
Yeah, at least the umbrella girl.
I have a question on Facebook live chat. Username Corey Hosford. If Kristaps could have a wrestling intro theme song, which song would it be? Actually, and what would be your wrestler name as well?
The wrestler.
Yeah.
I think that I like how the guys in the Club Blues name me. There is a drink in the bar. It's called Cold Warrior.
Cold Warrior.
Yeah,
that's good.
The song probably the one how the Rocky starts. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah, I was going to guess that if Kristap was named after a drink, he'd be the redheaded.
Rising up in the streets. My life is my. I'm sorry.
Has been here, so I guess that'd be Forsberg.
What will be Forsberg's intro song?
Forsberg's intro song would probably be Aerosmith, Don't Want to Miss a Thing. Is that true? No, Forsberg's actually sitting just off camera. Forsberg, what's your intro song?
Oh, no, you nailed it, man.
I nailed it. All right, good.
Yeah.
Let's do one more question from the McKibben. Marry, fuck, kill Pro 1 cars. So out of all the Pro 1 cars, which one would you marry? Which one would you have sweet, hot Latvian sex with? And which one would you kill?
Pro cars.
Yeah.
Let's say, all right. I would probably kill. It's a tough question. Probably.
Humans.
What was it? Marry, kill, and having sex.
Yes.
All right. Obviously, I'm gonna have sex with Miata. Not Miata. I'm sorry. I am Corolla. Uber.
So that's Frederick Asbo's Corolla I am.
Yeah.
Which he just called a Miata, by the way.
I would probably kill the Miata because I still don't get it why that guy cannot get the proper offenders. So it just looks ugly 2 years in a row.
Talking about Kyle Moen, right?
Yeah, and I would marry. I would marry. I don't know. Maybe I should marry Chris Forsberg's car. He's banging like really hard this year. His car, bam, 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 bam. Hardcore.
Oh, that was so good. All right, well, so we have a wedding, a funeral, and a porn to watch.
Oh yeah. Anything else for us, Kristaps, before we let you go to bed at some point here? Do you have anything you want to shout out? Anything to say to Driftcast fans?
Thanks for having a chat with you, and it was nice. And hopefully next time I prepare well for the American accent, and we can talk, have even more fun.
We'll
That's okay. We got the Von Gittin accent pretty good out of you, and that's about as American as it gets.
So we should work on this in Seattle.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the real video I'd like to do now before the end of the year is get every driver to do their best Von Gittin impression.
Yeah, I'm gonna prepare well, so I'm just gonna check his interviews before Seattle, and we can make a good one.
All right.
Perfect.
Thank you so much for spending the time with us on this late Latvian night for you, and you get some good sleep, and we'll see you at Seattle.
And thanks for the jack stand. We really keep it very close to our precious possessions for the show.
Anytime, guys.
All right, later, Kristap.
All right, bye.
Have a good night. You hang up on him. There you go. All right, so it's back. Just the two of us. Just the two of us. Well, I mean,
all right, good.
Forsberg's still there, right?
Yeah, I'm not going to say anything mean about him like he used to do all the guests, because even though he's such a nice guy, I'm still not convinced he wouldn't kill me.
Like I said last episode, he'll be I'll be so scared of him if he's coming at me, congratulating me, and being super nice. I'll still be scared, like, oh yeah, thank you.
Yeah, right.
I have a question here that is actually for Chris Forsberg.
Hold on, Chris. There's a question for you.
There's a question for you. Okay. Sam went to get. Oh, there you go. Oh, hi, Crotch Cam.
Oh, hey.
There's a question from Vladimir Jadov. He says he gave you a letter when he saw you in Latvia for the maximum. Oh, there you go.
Funny you should ask.
Should we open it on the show?
So, yeah, when I came over to Chris's house to hang out and shoot this thing we were doing, I noticed that there's this gold envelope sitting on the counter.
That's right.
And
Wow.
It says Maximum Driftcast on it. And
settle down, Vladimir. We got this.
And this was handed to you. Vladimir handed this to you in person where?
At Riga.
At Riga.
At Kristap's
So at
spot.
Kristap's spot. So, well, I guess without further ado, let's open this thing up. This
Well,
gold,
let's-
beautiful envelope.
Let's
Oh,
find
yeah.
out what it's on it. Let's play some tension music in the background. Ding, 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 ding,
All right,
ding,
so we got
ding,
drawings. We've got some words here. It says, "Dear Sam, Paco, and Corey, this is surprising, right? You receive an actual letter from a
I
fan."
spilled my name on there.
It's Vladimir from Estonia, longtime listener, first-time manual writer. Yeah, I thought that I'll ask each one of you a very hard question, and you can answer them during the podcast. Cool. Hi, Paco. Imagine you're at a hentai orgy crossed out. And it says hentai convention. Dressed as a squid. Every other man is resembling an octopus. Is it an advantage or a disability, and why?
A man?
So you're at a hentai convention.
Yeah,
dressed as
no,
a
I know. I've been there.
every other man
He's like, oh yeah, this is normal.
is resembling an octopus. Is it an advantage or a disability? Be the squid and the octopus fun.
I mean, I think it'll be an advantage, of course. I mean, it's like a plus, right? It's an
Yeah.
added value to the hentai convention.
So you're saying it's good. Be the squid.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I guess I don't understand the question. I mean, why would it be bad?
So
Right.
we're comparing right now squids versus octopi. I feel like you've got a long experience with tentacles, Paco. And a squid, you got a beak. I guess octopus have a beak as well. I don't really understand the anatomy of these animals, to be honest with you. So in other words, in short, Paco, the answer is yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I like the setup. By the way, let's make that happen.
All right. So Corey says, this question's
I
for
got
Corey.
this.
Yeah, Chris will cover this.
Corey's in the chat, so he can probably answer it when he listens to it.
Okay, he says, America invented a lot of things, and one of them is Discordian religion. Third commandment states, a Discordian is required during his early illumination to go off alone and partake joyously of a hot dog on a Friday. In your professional hot dog connoisseur opinion, why hot dog and why on Friday? That's tough. Chris, what do you
Yeah.
think?
Well, clearly because, Friday is the kickoff to a weekend and you have no time to just sit down for a long meal. You want to just grab and go. So hot dog, food on the go, ready to party on the weekend.
Damn. All right, Corey.
Wow.
Thanks a lot.
Got it.
And Sam,
I got to go work on an S14.
yeah, I gotta go work on a car real quick. And this is for me. So Sam, when will you stop the sexism and invite a girl on the show? And to really think about it, is there anybody you can call and have a drift-related chat? If not, at least make a fun episode with an import model or your mom. We did have my mom on the show before.
Yeah. I was going to say.
And Jan is actually watching right now. Hi, Mom.
Actually, Corey actually just chimed in with his actual answer. And he
Okay.
says,
What is it?
because if you have a hot dog on Thursday, what are you eating on Friday?
That is true. You were on a hot dog.
Very, very true.
And my favorite part about this letter is in obviously English second language. There is a picture up here that's a cloud and a sun, and underneath it just has an asterisk, and it says, "The meaning of this is unknown." I don't know, but I love it. And then down here it appears there's a fish in the ocean or a butthole.
I think it's a butthole. It's clearly a butthole.
Either way, Vladimir, thanks a lot for the letter, man. And of course, at the end it says "Hail Maximum Driftcast," which is sweet. So thanks for the letter, Vladimir.
Hail.
Whoa, Paco, take it
I'm
easy.
hailing Maximum Driftcast.
Settle down
Have
there,
you
bud.
found Kyle? Where's Kyle? Where's Kyle? He's over there. Never mind.
Where's Kyle?
Seen Kyle?
Seen Kyle?
Is Kyle? Have you seen Kyle over there? All right, we're not gonna do that anymore. Over there.
I can't wait for people to chop pieces of this and turn us into an internet meme.
What have you done?
Don't encourage them.
It'll be
All right, let's shut this bitch down. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, and even $1 a show helps us immensely, and will help pay for the
The space that you're taking up in my house
space
right
that
now?
is taken
Yes.
up in
Yeah,
Taylor's
that'd be
house.
great.
And then we got some exciting stuff coming up in Seattle. We might actually have an on-the-ground correspondent hitting some points for us.
Is that Corey's going to be reporting live from on the track?
I didn't say correspondent.
Oh, ha 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 ha!
Good.
But yeah, actually, all three of us are going to be at Forming the Drift Seattle, which is the first time I think all three of us have been around since Long Beach. So that's exciting. So yeah, check us out there. We have to pump the at K1 Speed in Seattle on Wednesday night. Yeah, we're going to go Forsberg, a couple other dudes. Who else is there? I don't even know.
I heard unofficially, pretty much everybody's gonna be there. Like I heard,
And we're
half-
gonna, We're going to ride golf or go-karts, and Corey and I are going to be announcing it. Paco, why aren't you there? You got to work that day?
I work until Friday, yeah. So I'm leaving Friday. I'm leaving on Friday, so I might not make it for practice, but I'll definitely be there for top 16. But you guys gonna have fun on the K1 maximum drift carts.
Maximum drift carts.
There you go. Solid.
Yeah.
And we got Patreon, we got the drift carts, we've got
Then Grid Life South. It's happening.
Grid Life South coming up. It's in August. Buy your tickets now. Tickets are for sale. Paco bought me a full-size megaphone that's probably going to be confiscated within about 10 hours. But
so you're going to make it 10 hours?
I just want to talk about this megaphone real quick. It's got a Bluetooth connection as well as like a handheld off mic microphone. Paco, you bought it for me. So my plan right now is to just cruise around the pits after each day. I'm going to blast some Kenny Loggins playing with the boys.
And see how many volleyball competitions just spring up.
Somebody spring up around us. Yeah, Grid Life is going to be killer. Luda, of course, we're going to party with Ludacris. I think I'm most excited about that. So, I think that about covers it. And most importantly, Corey is going to be drifting in Seattle, maybe.
That's the thing. Corey is back. As a fact, like I said, we were working on his car pretty late last night. It cranked. It's pretty much ready to fire up. It just needs a couple more hoses plugged in, and that puppy will be purring like a purring kitty.
All right, nothing run yet? Where's Corey? Corey's in the chat.
Corey's in the chat.
Do you hear all these instant
you hear
things,
those dings coming in?
Do you hear those, Paco?
Yeah, what are all those dings?
That's the margarita chat. That's on Chris's computer right now. So it's Jared and Dustin.
They're currently sharing their margarita photos, and apparently we got to catch up.
Yeah, they're very excited about margaritas. Yeah, so anyways, Chris and I are going to go.
We have to contribute.
We'll be fine.
We're going to film the final shots of Drift Garage here of the wheels going on my car and catch up on the Margarita chat.
After Margarita Sunday.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But,
oh my God! Yeah, those are very loud.
Jared.
Thanks for sharing the margaritas, Jared. Also, big thanks to AEM Intakes for supporting our show, and also McLeod Tuner Series Clutches, who just became our recent sponsors for the show.
Yeah, thanks AEM, and Chris Mady, our AEM guy, he came by last night when Forsberg and I were already. We had a couple beef smoothies in the hot tub, and then we hopped on the tandem bike and made a beef smoothie.
We needed reinforcements.
We needed reinforcements, and I'd like to report that Chris and I had a successful tandem bike mission to the the reinforcement store.
Corey says that while you guys do that and drink margaritas, he and I were gonna go smurf beers.
Smurf some beers, yeah. Butt chug. Yep. I want to be very clear to the kids on the show that butt chugging is not healthy. But Corey does it. He's a professional. Look, Corey knows what he's doing. Just don't replicate what he's doing at home. And be safe this weekend when you're butt chugging.
Oh my God.
All right, shut it down. Quick.
All right, guys. Well, have a good night. That was it for today's show. So we are going back to the internet. And no, we're quitting the internet right now. And I'm going to do a little transition. Look at this. And thanks, everybody. Thanks, Chris. Thanks, Sam. Thanks, Corey, who's just out there on the chat. But you guys have a good night. And we'll see you next week.